Hi, boys and girls. Today, wait, where did Blue go? Hey, where's Blue? Miss D, have you seen Blue?
Oh, Mrs. Nocita, not again.
Wow, it's hard to keep track of him.
Let me see.
Where is he?
There he is. He's in his studio.
What? He has a studio? Let's check it out. There you are, Blue. Check out your cool new studio. This is so fancy. You have your easel and your material set up, and oh, what's that on the back wall? That looks like an optical illusion. Ooh, maybe we should learn about optical illusions. What do you think, Blue? Yeah? Okay, cool, let's do it. Optical illusion, aka, which means as known as op art. An optical illusion is something that tricks your eye. So before we super dig into it, we are still focusing on a few elements of art. We are focusing on line, and I added in color a little bit. We're not super focusing on color, but in order to get our optical illusions to work, we need to kind of color things in sort of a pattern. So let's look at some optical illusions. All right, boom. So, my friends, if you are taking a look at this picture, it's not the computer that is making it move. It's your eyes. Isn't that crazy? So if it's working for you like it is for me, I'm looking at this picture and I see different things kind of rolling around there. So the way that they did this is they are using a pattern. They're repeating pattern of colors and of shapes. So it's about repetition, and when you pair that much together, it kind of confuses your brain and tricks your eye. So it looks like it's moving, but it's not actually moving. Weird. Ooh, let's take a look at this one too. So what's happening here is, again, you find repeated shapes and repeated colors, okay? I should have really circled shape when we talked about elements, shouldn't I? But what happens with my brain here is when I am staring at something, it's completely still. And then out of the corners of my eye or my peripheral vision, I see things kind of rotating. So it's kind of a strange one. Let's go to the next one. Kabam! Whoa! I like this one because it's schoolcraft colors. But it kind of looks like all these different lines are starting to rotate. Again, they're not actually rotating. It's your brain that's confusing you. It's a trick of the eye. Spooky. Okay, maybe not spooky, but maybe kind of spooky. Okay, so these illusions can be found all over the place. Artists can use them by, like I said, repeating colors and shapes and maybe even lines, because this one is more of a line pattern. So these can also occur in nature. So, optical illusions in nature. This here picture is a picture in Yosemite National Park, and it looks like lava is spilling off this mountain, and it's not lava, it's a waterfall, but what's happening is the sun is hitting it at a specific point, and it makes it look like it has lava coming out. This is just when the water is still and it's reflecting, so it's kind of tricking your eye into completing that circle. And I don't know if you've ever seen these. These are tricky. These always really annoyed me when I was young and driving in the car with my family. Ahead, if it was a sunny day, it always looked like it was raining or something. And that is a trick of the eye. That is an optical illusion that you would find in nature. So basically, the sun is reflecting off of this surface. So you can find optical illusions all over the place. Now, let's make one. Yay! For today's project, you will need one piece of white paper, a pencil, a permanent marker, crayons or markers or colored pencils, basically something to color stuff in with, and it would be super helpful to have a ruler. But if you don't have one, you can just wing it and try to make the straightest lines you can. But yeah, try to have a ruler, okay? Okay, get your stuff, pause the video, yeehaw! Okay, so don't panic, but this is what we are drawing a picture of. So I'm showing you this first because I want you to have that mental image. First of all, we are tracing our hand, but nowhere in this do you see my marker has actually traced an outline of my hand. I'm using a series of straight lines met with curved lines to kind of make the illusion that my hand is popping off the paper. So don't be afraid of doing this. It's just simple straight lines until I get to a pencil mark where I add a curve and then my pencil mark continues. I kind of call them roads. So get ready to start. Here we go. I have my paper, my pencil, and my marker. My paper is portrait orientation, and I'm going to start by tracing my hand. So I am trying to fill my paper. I don't want my hand too low, so I'm trying to fill up all the way towards the top. Now, watch as I start to trace. My pencil tip should be towards the ceiling, not tilted towards the other edge, the other wall of my classroom. When you tilt it like this, it makes your hand kind of look a little bit on the deformed side. So the way I have my pencil in my hand right now is the absolute wrong way to accurately trace your arm. So when you are tracing, you want to actually be lifting up your pencil so that the eraser is facing the ceiling. It's upright, just like that. So you want your pencil to be upright. I take my pencil, I go to the side of my arm, and this is in slow motion right now. You can probably tell, so that I can talk about how to accurately trace. But I set my pencil down. Again, I'm not going to tip it inwards because then it's not a good tracing. And I'm going to start to trace. So now I'm going to speed up. Alright, I am starting to trace, and I'm going along. Where is my eraser? It's facing the ceiling. I'm going pretty slowly, at pretty slow speed, and look at my fingers. They aren't super close together. They're a bit on the spread out side. Not uncomfortably spread, but I'm slowly going around my fingers. The faster you go, the less control you have. And going around, coming around the pinky, going around the opposite edge, and I go all the way back down, so my forearm is traced too. I know it's hard to see right now, but you can see the edges of my hand a little bit here. It's kind of hard to see in pencil, but here's the thing. Do not trace your hand at all in marker. That stays pencil. It needs to stay pencil. Do not trace it, do not trace it, do not trace it. So I have my ruler handy, handy, because we're making hand drawings, that's funny. And I'm going to turn my paper. I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm going to draw a line. But here's the thing. My straight line cannot go through my hand, so I jump over it and go through. I'm going to be markering this in a second, so if this gets confusing, don't worry. But let's practice some pencil lines. Flip over your paper, and when you are making pencil lines with a ruler, if you have your hand on one side, look at that. That's not a straight line. We don't like that. So I put a sad face next to it. Boo, sad face ruler. So practice some lines on the back. Here's another no-no. If I take my ruler and I have my fingers hanging over the edge, ow, that's not a straight line. That's not like almost straight, but with bumpies. Another sad face. Boo, sad. So when you're making a straight line with a ruler, your grip goes in the middle. I'm pushing down hard on my ruler so it doesn't move, and I do a straight line. Oh, beautiful straight line. Happy face. Celebrate. Yay. Celebrate. Yay. Flip my paper over, turn it to the side, and again, you do not draw through your hand. I'm going to spread out, and I'm going to draw through. These lines are actually practice lines, okay? We're just kind of setting up some lines so that when we get to the marker, we kind of know where we're going, okay? So, we're just drawing lines. As soon as we get to our hand, we jump. Oh, jump. Oh, this one's confusing. Jump. Oh, hit my thumb. Jump. Okay? So once you get to the finger area, it gets a little bit trickier. Whoa, jump. Whoa, jump. Whoa, jump. Whee! And then I get all the way to the end, and I do another straight line. So as you can see, I have a bunch of straight lines that are going almost through my hand, but not quite. And now I'm going to jump to marker so you can actually see how these look a little bit better. But watch as I'm doing it here. I'm filling the road in. Let's pretend like these straight lines are a road, and I'm giving them bridges here. Okay? So the bridge goes over my arm, over my hand. Here's a bridge over my thumb, and a bridge over my finger. Bridge, bridge, bridge. So, these curved lines should be connected to all of the straight roads, okay? So, that's kind of the concept here. I do recommend keep doing this in pencil if you're having a hard time with it. So for now, I'm going to jump to marker. Okay, so again, I have these straight lines that hit my hand, curve over, and continue. So I'm going to start to trace them. Then you will be able to see them much better. So I'm getting ready with my marker. I'm still using my ruler. Draw a straight line, jump over, draw a straight line. So I'm still not hitting going through my arm is what I'm trying to say. Then I add a hill to connect. So now there is a bridge on my road. Scooch over slightly, straight line, hit the edge, jump, hill to connect. So we add more and more, and it's important that your hill goes from the line of your hand to the other line. If you go wider, it doesn't work as well. It looks kind of funky. So make sure you're going right up to that line. You're stopping right when that hand line starts. Make a hill. And I'm not tracing over all of my pencil marks. I'm actually adding even more lines to this. The pencil marks are there kind of for a guide to give you some reference as to where you should be going. Hill. I try to keep my hills pretty consistent in steepness. If one is super steep and one is super, not shallow, that doesn't work. Super not steep, that'll do. The illusion doesn't work very much either. So I'm trying to keep everything consistent. Okay, straight line, hit them hand, jump, straight line, hill to connect the roads. So this stretch of it is pretty simple. Where you're going to have a hard time is with the hand, with the fingers spread out. So just mentally prepare for having it a little bit tough there if you really want to switch to pencil. Anything you do in pencil should be traced except what we did with her hand. The line for her hands stay untraced. Just the roads are the ones that get traced. Okay? So again, the road is the straight line with the hill. Okay? The bridge. And bridge. Okay. This is a pretty simple idea, and you can actually do it with other objects too. I've seen people do hearts like this, where they make straight lines until it hits the heart, and it curves around the heart and comes all the way back again with another straight line. I've seen kids do this with like circles to make it look kind of like a sphere is popping out. I think the hand looks spooky, and it's fun to do, so we decided to go with hand. And I'm trying to challenge you a little bit. Because I think you guys can handle it. Hand, because if we're making hands. This is funny. With my other hand joke. Oh, and I just jumped backwards because I disliked how far apart the top line is from the bottom, so I'm adding a new bridge down there. Alright, here we go. We're getting to the fingers area, the tricky area. So be careful with the fingers, like I've been saying. I jumped here, and I might have to do another like weird little jump. Oh no, I just went all the way over it. Never mind. So as I keep going upwards, though, there are going to be a couple little hops. So it's not just going to be one bridge. It's going to be like several bridges. This part, like the palm part of my hand, is a little bit easier. If you see that little part in between the thumb and my forefinger has just a straight line, because I would see that space. So I did a big hill and then a little hill on the thumb. So we scooch over, straight line, jump, 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 and here we go. Hill, little hill, and there you go. Then it gets even more crazy. Mentally prepare. This is a good area to practice the pencil first. I make a straight line till I stop at a finger. Make a little straight line in between my thumb because I would see that space. Hill. Little baby hill. Hill, bigger hill. Little baby hill over the thumb. Next. Over to Nosita. Okay. Straight line. Straight line in between. Straight line in between. Straight line. Hill. 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 Fixing things. And okay, so at the top, straight line, there's a gap, straight line, straight line, straight line. So I'm making all these straight lines in between the fingers. Hill, 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 hill. Next. Alright, so again, essentially straight lines until you get a finger. Anytime you have that negative space in between fingers, that would be the background, you do make sure you add that straight line in. So here I am connecting the hills, and again, as you get further and further up in between all these different fingers, it gets trickier and trickier to add them in. Okay? Okay. So I'm going to stop talking and let you keep watching, and remember, anything that gets traced, anything with pencil gets traced with marker, except for the outline of your arm and your hand that we did first. That actually stays in pencil and will end up getting erased eventually. Okay, and I believe in you. Go team. And I am all done. Take a look at how this looks. It's wonderful and beautiful, and now it's ready to be colored. Don't forget, as you are coloring for craftsmanship, you want to aim for that level 4, so the space that you were filling in is nicely filled, not done quickly. Quickly is hard to control. Here are some examples where there is color in there. So some kids just added different lines to fill in the space with color. Some of them didn't color it all the way in. Whichever way you feel is best, go for it. So I would like you to take a picture of these and post it on Seesaw for me. You could also look up Optical Illusion Heart and kind of see how to do that one, or let's see if there's any other ones that you could do. If you just start by tracing the contour of whatever you're trying to do this with and add those lines, it should work out. So let's see what you can make.